very, very excited to finally do this with you and finally talk about this EP.
Man, we're super excited.
Firstly, thank you very much for taking times out of what looks like practice day. It's honestly really cool to finally have you here. So obviously we're here to deep dive Umbral in full. If you want to just basically tell us a little bit about what the writing process I know it was obviously a long time coming. What the run up to Umbral and just anything you want to say before we go into the tracks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was a long process for us just because, like, as we were writing this, the pandemic hit. So I think we released Fading Form in May, and it was almost a year till now that the EP's out. But even then, we sat on the EP for a while, and just it feels super good to have it out, man. And these guys, we put in like so much work, and we are like getting to go out to Atrium during the pandemic, man, was like the craziest thing ever for us.
I bet.
Like meeting those guys and knowing they worked with like all our favorite bands, August Burns Red and like Moths to Flames and Polaris. We just saw them as a band the other night, and it's like both those bands recorded at the same studio as us. So it's just like, man, that's goals, seeing those guys on the stage headlining and shit, man. That's what we want to happen. So
yeah, that is amazing. I can't believe Fading Form came out in May. That is absolutely crazy.
You're telling me.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised that you did record at Atrium because it does sound absolutely amazing. Let's talk about Fading Form then. Obviously, that was the first single of the EP, and rightly so because it is a proper statement of intent. What's some of like the lyrical stuff, and what was the process for that track?
So I mean, this one, the opener, first single, we kind of felt like this was our most like straightforward sounding song as like to put out first. So lyrically, the song is actually deals with a lot of like body dysmorphia and like insecurity type stuff like that, which is something that I've like struggled with a lot in my past. And I mean, obviously as I get older, I learn to cope with it more, but just Fading Form, the chorus there is erase the feeling, embrace the healing. It's just something like basically to just get over those negative images about yourself and like begin to just heal and realize that everyone looks different and that type of thing. And it's kind of a multi-meaning song. There's a lot you could relate out of the lyrics. I feel like like depression, that type of stuff. So.
Definitely, I love that. So something I always ask bands when they come on, was Fading Form. Well, obviously I know you went. Was this the first track that was written? Was this the one that always you were like, yeah, this is going to be the opener?
I don't think this was the first track we wrote, honestly. I think Nevison was like the first one. I think we had Nevison going before these guys joined, and I think we kind of like made that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So was Fading Form always going to be the EP opener?
Yeah, we pretty much, I felt like as soon as we had that song written, it had big first single vibes, especially that chorus.
Awesome, definitely. Well, we'll go ahead and play track 1, Fading Form. If anyone's got any questions for the guys, put them in the chat, and when the track's finished, we'll ask them. Let's go, this is Fading Form.
Do it.
Oof! What an intro.
Like a shattered mirror, break the stigma of my own imperfection. Erase the feeling, embrace the
bunch of geniuses writing this. The chat are loving it. So good. It's such a strong track, especially obviously you guys, it was a while since you had like new music out. Obviously you guys know how much I like wax lyrical about this track. It is genuinely amazing, so huge. Talking,
that was a fun track.
Yeah, definitely. Talking of huge, you bring out the big boy vocals and melodies on the next track. Talk to us about Glider.
Glider, man. That's definitely, I feel like, our most, I guess you could say, unique sounding one on the EP in a way, just because I feel like it, you know, it has more of like an upbeat, like sort of hardcore-esque type sound, like Polaris, you know, it's got that more of the
Yeah.
type of riffs than before. It's definitely, that was our first one kind of messing with that pitch shift there at the end.
Yeah.
And we really like that, so we kind of have made that like a staple of our sound, doing the pitch shift breakdown.
We all love a pitch shift breakdown. This track's also doing great numbers for you guys as well, like almost nearly 25k streams, which is amazing.
Which is super ironic to me because I mean I love the song, but it's my least favorite on the EP, like personally, and I was like wondering how people would receive it, and then there you go.
I remember you saying like, oh, we've got a bit of a different track coming out and I'm not sure if you'll like it. But it's fair to say everybody loves it. Obviously the chorus in this is like very melodic. It's sonically absolutely huge. Was that something you wanted to kind of maybe experiment with this track?
Dude, honestly, this was like, this whole EP was the first time I like wrote choruses for music, so I'm surprised it all worked out. Like we had very minor help from, you know, Carson. I mean, it was Grant actually there in the studio. He helped us correct like a few melodies, but honestly, this song he didn't change anything. So I'm pretty proud, honestly, that I can't sing them. I have to make Dylan here sing it, but I can hear a melody and write it, you know. So I like that people think it's catchy.
That's amazing. You both vocally, this is definitely one of my favourite tracks on the EP. So I think you both absolutely smashed it. Let's go into Glider again. Any questions for the guys? Keep them coming in.
Dive in.
Spinning out of control, falling to a downward spiral. My momentum goes. searching for an oasis, but all I see is a mirage. I'm searching for an oasis, but all I see is a mirage. I'm searching for an oasis, but all I see is a mirage.
Such a spicy number, honestly, so good. Again, that guitar tone could quite easily floor Megatron. Sweet chin music, right to the chin. So good. We've also got a great question from Eris that says, I suppose this goes for any of you, do you have any influence that might not be obvious from listening to this EP?
I saw that. That is a really good question. I had
It
to
is.
think about it there for a second. And I mean, for me personally, like vocally, I actually take a lot of inspiration from like synthwave music. And
Hell yeah.
weirdly, I kind of like incorporate that, especially into these newer songs we're writing. It's a little more obvious, but yeah, I like 80s music and synthwave and stuff like that. And so that's, I guess you could say that, and stuff, even stuff like, Linkin Park, Under Oath, those earlier influences, they're still in there too.
That's amazing. All absolutely top draw. I love those, especially the synthwave, like Gunship.
Oh yeah,
the Midnight, just so good. Easily one of, in the last few years, easily one of my favourite genres as well. Up next is Nevison, which you said was the first single. Was it the first single that you wrote?
Like pretty much the first one we wrote as a band with this current lineup, you could say, which has changed since then. But yeah, for this EP, and this seems to be our fan favorite song. As you can see, it's creeping up on Glider, and it came out a month after. Yeah, it came out after Glider, so this is definitely our best performing song and seems to be the fan favorite.
That's also
Seriously, I wanted to say about Glider as well. That song I wrote lyrically like in the middle of the pandemic too, and it's kind of like about just that day-to-day dragging that went on, just how everything was like in a blur, and the glider aspect just kind of, like you're not flying, you're just gliding along day to day. So
I love that. Very poignant with what we've all gone through for the last couple of years. So what is some of the lyrics and song, any kind of song structure, anything that Nevison touches on?
Nevison is like a pretty personal song. It's like about seasonal type depression in a way, just never sun. The lyrics are kind of a metaphor. I used like this, like a camping trip type thing, getting lost in like the middle of some like a cold dark forest as like a metaphor for feeling like in the winter. I seem to feel a lot more down during the winter time and stuff like that, so this was kind of the song I wanted to use to reflect all that and everything.
I love that, dude. I think that's something, obviously I think that's what's great about this genre that we all love, that obviously the lyrics and the topics are so open, but I think that you've touched on there is something that definitely goes under the radar. Seasonal depression is horrible, so yeah, I absolutely love that. Is there any kind of like studio story or anything, any cool fact about Nevison?
I mean, we did the music video. It was almost like a homemade type movie thing we did. If y'all haven't seen it, it's got like some very obvious Blair Witch influences in there. It came out pretty cool though for what we had, like no budget, and just kind of did it in our friend's backyard type thing. As opposed to the Umbral video we just released, that was like rent a place, hire it was way more professional.
I love both videos, but the Umbral video is definitely getting put forward for an Emmy. Just saying.
Yeah. Hope so.
Let's go. This is track 3, Nevison. Keep the questions coming. Dude, this is why I love deep dives, because like listening, I always like loved how deep and how like emotional the track, like the lyrics were, but they hit even harder after you explain a bit of that. I absolutely love it. Now, you know what? I'm like for getting annoyed at how underrated you guys are, but how the Seraph is only on 13k streams.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
But this is obviously going to be like an awesome like story to hear. Obviously, getting JT, which I'm sure for all the guys, obviously you guys there, for myself and a lot of people in chat, is an absolute hero for so many people. What was it like getting JT on board?
Dude, it was actually pretty easy. I used that Featured X website at the time.
Oh, sick.
He was on there, and I ended up like just like submitting it, and then we ended up texting back and forth, and we just pretty much did the business through text, because unfortunately now and during that time, I think Featured X was going through some weird stuff and
Yeah.
sold off and kind of mishandled, but he still ended up following through and like doing the feature for me and everything. So it was awesome, man. And obviously we get compared to Era a lot, and the Seraph is our most like Era-esque song, so
Yeah.
it seemed like the big. Which, another fun fact, this whole EP was recorded on the same exact guitar that Era recorded the full length, which just dropped that deluxe edition. So same guitar on the Era full length, same guitar on this EP.
That
Literally the same guitar.
That is quite easily the sickest fact that I've ever been told on a deep dive. Absolutely amazing.
It's super sick. Yeah.
That is really, really, really sick. I mean, the Seraph is kind of like deep with lore and meaning, so I'm sure you could give us a bit more insight into what this track touches on.
Yeah, this is like our metaphysical gent song. You know? It's like inspired by some of my own personal like beliefs of whatever reality is, and you could also inspired by some like experiences that I've had happen, that type of stuff. So I think if you know what experiences I'm talking about, that hearing the lyrics, you should know that type of stuff. Just belief in like the beyond, man. I'm a pretty deep, I guess you could say like spiritual. I'm not like a religious man, but
Yeah.
I believe like there's much more to reality than just like here. And the Seraph is kind of like meant to be this like otherworldly, ethereal being, that exists like beyond this world. And the song is kind of about like having a contact with that being.
That's really, really cool. It instrumentally, because I think Seraph is obviously one of your most, in my opinion, quite complex tracks. Was it kind of put together really intricately, or did it all like fall in place very naturally?
This definitely was, yeah, we put some work into this song, especially that chorus, which is, that's my favorite chorus on the EP, I think. It's just super catchy, and I wrote that just one day, like in the shower. I'm just like hearing the guitar, and then I just heard the vocals like just clicked type thing, and I was like, dude, that's a hook for that chorus. And we just ended up like came over next day, and we tracked the pre-pro, and it sounded awesome.
That's amazing. I love it. Everybody enjoy. If you've, like I said, any questions, get them in for the guys. This is the Seraph featuring JT.
The Seraph watches over me. Soul of the earth inside, my visions come to life. Show me the truth. Lucid entity of light.
Let's see here.
So sick. That was the Seraph. God, JT's feature is so huge, isn't it? I mean, the whole track is, but he's so like demanding instantly. So good. And just like that, we're already on Umbral. Track 5, tell us something about this and some of the stuff, obviously it's the title track, some of the stuff it touches on.
Umbral is just, it's the big one, man. It's just like everything in one. It's a culmination of the whole process of writing the EP, just like watching what was going on in the world. I mean, obviously, pandemic, there's like crazy election, political stuff happening in America. There's all sorts of like civil unrest. So this song is basically, you know, I don't like to get too political, but this song is like my view on the world, I guess you could say, and how umbral is a word that means the darkest part of a shadow, basically, like the darkest center where there is no light. So I just felt like in my life that was like the darkest time I'd lived through. So I see a lot of animosity and hatred in the world over stupid stuff, you know. It's just, so I think the standout line in this song, which is, it's a really cliche line that's used a lot, but point the finger, pull the trigger, I feel like that's like super relevant in the world right now. And even currently, you know, there's like war going on over in Ukraine and everything. So just, we're still in umbral times, man.
I mean, you couldn't really have described it better, dude. It has been horrible, hasn't it? Like, really horrible. So I love it. This is what I think so cool about, especially this genre, that I just think it tackles real life subjects better than most. That's my opinion. So yeah, I absolutely love it. Track 5, Umbral, and then we'll come in and to finish it off, and anything else added, and we'll also give you time to promote what you guys have got coming up.
For sure, man.
Let's go. This is title track, Umbral. Quite easily the most enjoyable 18 minutes that anybody can have on the planet. Just saying. Amazing. I absolutely love the comment. This whole EP makes me want to ascend.
That's awesome.
I absolutely love it, boys. The saying. I can't even remember the saying, but you know, everything goes really quick when you're having fun. Time flies when you're having fun. That is what I was trying to say. And like that, we have got to the end, and I just absolutely love this EP. I hope this is the springboard that you guys deserve to. Well, you know, I'll be here with my little microphone shouting from the top of the things until somebody hears, because I genuinely think you're incredible. I'm hoping one day you'll maybe, you know, be touring with Invent and Error and all that, because you boys are saying, I don't want to just seem like that's really beggy and thing because you're here, but you know how I feel. Absolutely amazing, and I really appreciate you giving us your time. Let the listeners know what have Silvercord got coming up. Any shows?
Man, we do have an EP release show that it actually was supposed to be last Friday, but we had all sorts of issues with the venue, so we decided to kind of postpone it and sort of restart the hype for that. So it'll get announced soon, hopefully sometime in May. The show will happen in May, so there's that, and then we've got some other couple shows unannounced. We've got small merch online, which I'll be shipping out yours soon. So
it's very nice. It's very nice. Buy some.
Man, we're trying to do as much as we can. We have, you know, down the road we have obviously like a instrumental version of this EP we'll put out with some playthrough type content and all that, and we already have like an album's worth of songs written, so that's really our next move, man, is just keeping this momentum up, because we're seeing the numbers grow a lot right now, and we want to keep it that way.
Amazing. That is so exciting. I love that, especially the playthroughs. And I mean, these kind of releases, this kind of genre, it's just, I think every band needs to release an instrumental version. I just think that's the way to do it nowadays. Boys, thank you so much for your time. It has been an absolute pleasure. I'm very much looking forward to the album, so we can talk for much longer. But everybody listen to Umbral, share Silvercord, get the name out there, because these boys really do deserve it. I am back tomorrow, 7 o'clock, episode 72. More bands you should listen to. And yeah, thank you very much for hanging out, everyone. All the love.
Thank you,
Love
man.
you, Jonny.
Thank you, chat. You guys are the best. Hit me up on that Elden Ring, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. See you later, everyone.
All right.